What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today we're discussing Brandon Curry from 2019 to 2020 and the transformation he's made in his physique. Now, this comes after a photo of Brandon Curry was posted up online just 3 days out of the 2020 Mr. Olympia, looking like an absolute mutant. But let's fast forward back to 2019, more specifically September 2019, just prior to the 2019 Mr. Olympia. In this photo, he looks pretty damn impressive. He looks good. It's a similar photo to the one that was posted recently in terms of it's the same quarter turn, same lighting from the side directly there in a hotel room. Looking really, really good. Fast forward 15 months and about a week, and Brandon Curry looks like a mutant. He looks crazy. He looks in very similar condition, if not better. But I'm going to analyze this a little bit more, the angle of the photos and all that sort of stuff, and try to justify and find out maybe why he looks so much better, or is it just that his physique is that much better? So let's get into it and put these photos side by side. So I've tried to line them up in terms of the same height of the head, the same height of where the knees finish as well. Now, I will say one thing as well, the angle of the photo. So the angle is from slightly upper on the 2019 version, which should make the legs look a little bit bigger, the upper body a little bit smaller, but it's not much. It's really, really not much difference, because the one obviously in 2020, taken from today or yesterday, it makes his upper body look maybe slightly bigger and his legs look slightly smaller, but it actually doesn't. That's what should happen, but his legs actually look bigger in 2020. So we'll start there. We'll go from the legs up. So you can see the hamstring hang, or the hamstring pop really, on the 2020 version is absolutely out of control. Now, Brandon had this last year as well, but it wasn't to the same level. His hamstrings look ridiculous this year, in this photo at least anyway, and I think it looks really, really good. Let's talk about the glutes a little bit. Now, you might say there's more lines in the glutes on the 2019 version, but I think that would be mistaken a little bit because of the lighting of the photo and the slight angle, because Brandon has turned his body a little bit more on the 2020 version, and the 2019 version, it's taken slightly from the back, just very slightly. It's probably half a foot difference or something, but you can see obviously it opens his physique up more, and he's hitting the pose differently as well. You can see on the 2020 version, he's pulling his hand around a little bit more, which pulls his chest and his shoulder and his arm, or his left arm out a little bit more. But when you really look at it, the glutes, if you zoom in on the 2020 version, you can still see there's lines there. They're just shadowed. That's pretty much what it is. So I think that his legs have improved. He does have the other leg obviously poking out, so you can see the back leg as well, which can give the illusion that his legs are a lot bigger. But I think they are definitely, at worst, marginally bigger in my opinion. Let's go to the midsection. The midsection looks just as tight in 2020 in my opinion. Maybe it's a little bit thicker. Maybe you could say that, but if it is, it's minimal, and the rest of his body is so much bigger that really it offsets it and gives even a better, I suppose, shoulder to waist, or, upper body muscular wise to waist ratio, which makes the waist look smaller anyway. So let's go to the arms. You can see the arms are clearly bigger. They clearly look a lot fuller. Now, Brandon was known for the size of his arms beforehand. So I'm scared to see what Brandon's arms are going to look like on stage at the 2020 Mr. Olympia, because they used to be obviously phenomenal. Now they've gone to another level. The shoulder is where I noticed the most difference. So look at the size of his delt. Now I think he's hitting this pose better in 2020. He's leaning more into the pose. So he's got his right shoulder dropped a little bit more, the back shoulder up a little bit more. I think that looks really good. Probably makes his shoulder look a little bit bigger, but you can see as well, he's got the same lines, if not more lines in 2020, and probably because the muscle is bigger. When the muscle is bigger, it's going to push against the skin a little bit harder. And the thing that I was actually wondering as well, has Brandon Curry actually carved up in this 2020 photo? Because when I interviewed Brandon on Monday night his time, now this photo was released on Tuesday, he said he hadn't started carving up, and he said he'd start by Wednesday. So I'm wondering if he started carving up maybe a little bit early because he could have afforded to, but here's what he had to say about it.
Feeling pretty good. Energy level is just, variable throughout the day, but I'm feeling pretty good. My mind's pretty good. I'm hungry though. I'm hungry. Can't wait to start putting some carbs in. It seems like every meal I eat, I want to eat more. So, I'm hungry.
How far out are you from that carb up process?
Today's Monday. I mean, I don't really know exactly. But I can't be more than a few days out. I mean, I should be at least putting in the carbs back in by at least Wednesday. But I think it's going to depend on what my coach is looking for from day to day, whether he's going to put stuff in or he's going to just leave it out. His mind is going, so I don't know what he's thinking. I'm just following instructions.
So there's that directly from Brandon Curry. So let's move on to a few of the other body parts. So the chest you can see obviously in 2020 is much more open because of the way he's hitting the pose, and it looks bigger. It straight up just looks bigger. You go to the traps, They look bigger. They look like they poke up more and they're more rounded. So overall, his physique is much bigger in 2020. And, you know, I talked about the arms, but you look at the forearms and everything just looks bigger and better. So Brandon Curry, it makes me wonder if Brandon Curry is going to walk away with this Olympia. Imagine if Phil comes back in the midsection, doesn't look good, and Brandon is, you know, heads and shoulders above what he was last year. I mean, it could be something where we finish prejudging and go, there's your 2020 Mr. Olympia pretty easily. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know below. So let's move on to some training footage. So I went on Brandon Curry All Access on his YouTube channel, went to a video that was 4 weeks out where he's training chest, which is actually perfect because I actually edited a video of Brandon Curry training chest 4 weeks out of this year's Olympia. So we've got a perfect comparison of how he looked in the gym at 4 weeks out. And I've got to tell you guys as well, all the footage that Brandon Curry sent me was shot off an iPhone. He sent it to me. I edited it up. I added in all the footage. Maybe I cut out 5-10 seconds here and there, but every set that he sent me, I actually published. So it's not just putting in the sets that look the best or anything like that. It's putting in every single one shot off an iPhone, which is pretty incredible. So this is the 2019 version. As you can see, the conditioning was probably a little bit behind. Brandon said he was struggling to get his weight to come down last year. And I thought when I saw this, Brandon was maybe a little bit behind conditioning wise. And I actually wondered if he'd be able to win the 2019 Mr. Olympia. He obviously pulled it together enough to be the best bodybuilder in the world at the Mr. Olympia, which is pretty incredible. Fast forward to 2020, 4 weeks out, which is about 15 months and a week forward. And Brandon Curry looks next level. So he looks vascular. He looks probably bigger as well, and I've got to imagine that maybe he kept more of that size as well from this point onwards, because last year he was really having to suffer, do more cardio to get down in weight and actually get into condition. So looking at these footage side by side, I've got to say that the 2020 version is impressing me a hell of a lot more as well. So this was posted on Soul Premises YouTube channel. It doesn't have that many views yet because they're a bit of a smaller YouTube channel rather than, you know, Brandon Curry's YouTube channel or anyone else's. Now, this is footage from, I think, about 9 days out of the 2020 Mr. Olympia, where you can see Brandon looks really damn good training in Carbon Culture, which is his gym as well. I've got to say, I'm pretty damn impressed by this footage alone. And you get an idea of what Brandon's really looking like 9 days out of the 2020 Mr. Olympia. And this is flat for Brandon, which is pretty mind-blowing. So I'm scared to see what Brandon Curry looks like when he fills out. Will there be an extra level of conditioning? Will he be extra full and just absolutely bursting? That's what I'm predicting will happen, because 9 days out of a Mr. Olympia, guys really aren't at their fullest and they're not at their best. That's why you don't see too many progress photos unless they're filtered, unless they're super close up or at a weird angle or they're just showing a little bit. That's the reason why, in my opinion. So let me know what you think in the comments below about my comparison from Brandon Curry from 2019 to 2020. Will this be Brandon Curry's all-time best, and will it be enough to beat a 7-time Mr. Olympia in Phil Heath? If you guys like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, and also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. You'll be able to follow all my 2020 Mr. Olympia coverage over this weekend, because I've got an absolute ton of it as well, including a bunch of interviews that are about to go up too. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.